Francis Maxwell back on Full-Time Devils to discuss the big game this weekend, the last saving grace, the FA Cup final. Could it be something to smile about in a season that's had more iffy parts than a Sergio Ramos haircut? Who knows? All we can do is look at the tactics, look at the past instances in the games against Bournemouth, look at what Crystal Palace have been doing, and try and weigh up whether or not it is a realistic possibility. And I will give you my professional opinion and let you know that it is. If Manchester United do the simple things well, as they have done, they can go on and get that W against Crystal Palace. So this is a lineup that is exactly the same as United's had against Bournemouth. De Gea in goals, Valencia, Small and Blaine, Jackson at the back, Carrick, Mata, Rooney, Lingard, Rashford, Martial. Wouldn't be surprised if there is some changes in there. We've seen Herrera introduced towards the end of the game, but I would like to stick with what is working at the moment. So I want to highlight just Manchester United's fearlessness going forward, their efficiency, and something that Crystal Palace have been struggling with, and that's conceding from wide areas. Of their 4 goals conceded against Southampton, minus the penalty kick, so that's 3 goals there. They conceded from wide areas. Balls into the box, they just cannot deal with them at the moment, whether it's in the air, whether it's on the ground. They just cannot seem to deal with any sort of, I would say, penetration behind their back 4. Manchester United, it so happens at the moment, have been dominant going forward in terms of penetrating from the wide areas. So let's just highlight one of the prettiest goals that I've seen come from Manchester United this season. That was Wayne Rooney's first goal against Bournemouth. So what happened is you see Borthwick-Jackson overlapped in the wide area. Then he managed to play the ball into the feet of Martial. So what this automatically done is this posed the question for the right back, because Crystal Palace are often caught too high up the park anyway. So their full back either had to watch for Borthwick-Jackson and maybe check out and leave this gap in here, or he had to stay put, and that would allow for Borthwick-Jackson to get the overlap and run. So in turn, he basically allowed for this gap into this area. It was a nice little 1-2 into feet for Martial. Wayne Rooney was finding himself at the edge of the box, but there was a lot of work to be done because it's as simple as a cutback. You might think that Martial is able to find some space in there, and it's just a pass into the back of the net. But watch what Rashford done. Go back and watch it. You can take my beautiful demonstration here, but go back and watch what Rashford and Rooney transitioned from a midfield and striker partnership into like a front 2. That is what Manchester United have to do in and around the box. So imagine this is Rashford right here. He sees that Wayne Rooney is coming into this area. So what does he do? He takes his centre back with him, makes this run in behind, so therefore it allows for this space in here for Wayne Rooney. He steps over the ball, bang, into the bottom corner. A well-worked goal that was just a new lease of life amidst a very dark and cloudy season when everything started to come together. The players started to click, the movement was there. The exact same thing happened for Rashford's goal. On the other side, as you see an overlapping run from Valencia on the right-hand side. So in this example, the ball found its way to Wayne Rooney, who was allowed to drop a little bit deeper because Juan Mata now has the ability to go beyond his midfield partner. He trusts that Wayne Rooney can pick up the ball deep, so Wayne Rooney gets it in here. Mata therefore makes himself available in the box, taking a midfield runner away, giving Wayne Rooney this space, and he plays a beautiful ball in behind for the oncoming run of Valencia, who's overlapped, heads it back down, and Rashford puts it into the back of the net. It is those options that Manchester United have been lacking all season. I'm turning up the Scottish here. Jesus Christ, where has this been all season? Overlapping the flanks at Old Trafford. It's what happens when you play in the red shirt of Manchester. You should not be scared to go forward. You should not be scared to overlap down the right-hand side like Valencia has done in their past couple of games. You should not be scared to overlap like Jackson has done, because you might not always get the ball, but that's part and parcel of football. People overcomplicate this game. It's all about the butterfly effect when it comes to football. Make one decision, and you might not immediately reap the benefits from that, and you might not get the ball into feet and can smack in that goal from 30 plus. But in just making that simple movement, you're causing your opposition to take 2 or 3 steps out of his comfort zone, which has the trickle-down effect, which allows that little gap for Martial to make that run in between, which allows for Wayne Rooney to pick up the ball in a little bit of space. There hasn't been enough off-ball movement. Go back and watch my tactics videos, man. I have talked about off-the-ball movement countless times until I'm blue in the face, man. And it hasn't happened at Old Trafford enough this season. And when it does, it's all well and good. But it's frustrating because it should have been happening more so this season. They should have had those attacking options which allow for some versatility going forward and some different options which free up the space for Rashford and for Wayne Rooney. So those were the couple of examples that just so happened to go well with what Crystal Palace cannot do well. And that is they don't know how to deal with overlapping runs. They don't know how to deal with being pushed back into their own box. And you're going to need some versatility in there because It's a cup tie after all. It's not a simple league game where Crystal Palace looked defeated before they even went on the park against Southampton. And they were just outplayed by a team that didn't really have to play that well. Southampton had a couple of... Their first goal was an easy goal. Keeper made an error. But it's from just giving those options inside the box that Manchester United can go on and salvage what has been a dire season by winning the FA Cup. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. A couple of brief tactical analysis, but to make it simple, do the simple things well, flood the flanks, overwhelm on the wide areas, have different options going up top, and play in partners of two. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can come back to TYT Sports and hear more of my rambling. You can hit me up on Twitter. I will be live tweeting the game, Francis_Maxwell, and on Instagram, Francis Maxwell host, to see some of the dodgy outfits that I wear and I'm allowed to wear over here in LA. Thanks again, lads. It's been a great season.
So Jim and I are in the away dressing room. This is where the United players are going to be pre-match, post-match, half-time. That probably covers it. So we're going to hunt around and see what's going on. This is pretty solid, actually. It doesn't... Oh, there's a little give. There's a little give. If that breaks, I'm in trouble.